Pokémon! Pokémon gym leaders are primarily defined by one thing, their type specialty. Whatever type a given gym leader specializes in often affects many things about the Pokémon world, such as their personality, like Brocc being stoic and sturdy, Roxy being rebellious and outspoken, to Milo being gentle and a more passive man. But it can also affect things such as the difficulty curve of a game, like Whitney's Miltank having very few counters at that point in the game, meaning that her gym is infamously difficult. Every aspect of a gym leader is molded from the ground up around their type specialty, from their name, their location in the game, to the interior of their gym, to their personality, to how they look, and so on and so forth. But what if we take these traits that are so iconic to what these trainers are, the thing that makes them so memorable and iconic, and take it away and try to give them a new one? Yes, that's right. Today I would like to try and start a series in which I will go through every region, look at their gym leaders, and give them brand new type specialties based on what criteria I feel they best fit. And what's a better place to start than Kanto? I'd first like to cover the process that I use to determine every gym leader's new type. The first criteria I used, and the one that I feel holds the most merit, is their names. Names aren't just arbitrary mouth sounds. Most have root words, or cultural origins or significance, or are just real words, Misty. Gen 1 names weren't exactly subtle. Brocc is a rock, but with a B. Misty is Misty because Mist is water and she is water and also Misty. Lieutenant Surge is named after a power surge, specifically electricity, and so on and so forth. As the series went on, we got much deeper name origins and ones that weren't just very surface level meanings. Gen 1's names being so blatant and so clearly defining of the type of person who bears it makes this challenge a bit hard, so Kanto might be a bit tougher to do than most other regions that we do in the future. But regardless, names are used to help signify what a trainer specializes in, and so that can be used to help us pick out our new type. The second criteria I used was a trainer's general demeanor. This was used more so as a supplementary criteria in most cases. Some names are purposefully given to a trainer because they are ironic. Erica's name comes from Eric, which basically means super strong, tough leader dude, which doesn't really fit with Erica's vibe. Agatha's name means good, which is clearly supposed to be a joke considering she's the opposite. So while some name meanings lead to types that fit quite well, I tried to factor in a trainer's general demeanor so that it would be less jarring and their team would feel more cohesive with their aesthetic. Another reason that this criteria is important is because, well, some trainers don't have names that can be really used to glimpse any meaning from. Sometimes we just gotta look at a name, how they appear, and Hello. Sometimes we're just gonna have to look at how they appear and act to come up with a conclusion that fits, even if it isn't the best of reasons. Obviously, if a person is doing a certain job in the Pokemon universe, having a specific type of Pokemon might aid in that goal. And also, it'd be weird to give a swimmer a grass-type team or a martial artist a psychic-type team. I tried my best to look at who they are, what they do, and what kind of Pokemon they may want to help with their job. Though Gen 1 trainers, for the most part, do not have very deep world building around them, most you'll get in certain cases is, they plant flowers, they swim, they do science. So, and the fourth and final main category is the weakest one that I hope I won't have to default to, where they are in the Pokemon world. Kabu is a fire-type specialist. Route 3 is just east of his gym, and it has Vulpix, Roly-Poly, Growlithe, and Sizzlipede on it. It makes sense. Brocc is near Mount Moon, where you can find Geodude. Crasher Rake is in Pastoria City, which is in a giant wetland area with loads of water types. Burr lives near Pineal Forest, where you can find a lot of bug types, and also Dwebble lives north of Castelia City. I pronounced Castelia wrong. You get the general idea. You can look where a gym is positioned and find a load of Pokemon that are the same type. It makes sense why they'd settle there, because there's loads of options for them to choose from. However, this is usually supplemented by all of the other guidelines I laid out. Most likely, these Pokemon are put here because that's where the gym is, and not the other way around. Heck, some gym leaders don't even follow this rule. I mean, why in God's name is Chuck in Cianwood? You're in the middle of the ocean. Where are the fighting types? Like, yeah, his ace is Poliwrath, which is a water fighting type Pokemon, but Poliwag is native to ponds and wetlands, aka freshwater, aka not the freaking ocean. Chuck, why are you the way that you are? So yeah, it's obvious that this guideline isn't always followed, so I'm only going to use this as an absolute emergency when I have literally nothing else to go off of. So, with that out of the way, let's get into every Kanto gym leader's brand new signature type.
Have anything to say about it?
Hi, I'm by the floor shelves now. And I don't know how to find that graph that tells me what percentage of my viewers are subscribed, but you should do it anyway, because... Now, this may surprise you, but let's start with Brocc. Brocc is a rock-type specialist, and his sturdy stance, stoic demeanor, and unsettled name convey all of that. The name Brocc comes from the Old English Brocc with 2 C's, meaning badger. Badgers dig holes in the ground, and a badger is also named for a miner, so his name actually fits outside of he be rock. But it probably wasn't chosen because of that. With that meaning, we can find our answer for his next type specialty, the ground type. Yeah, it's not the most amazing reveal, because it's barely a change for him, but it fits well, I think. He's sturdy and strong, just like the earth. Badgers dig in the ground, so do miners, and what does Brocc even do? Not to mention, the best part of this type change is that he can evolve his Onyx while maintaining his type specialty. Take that, Jasmine. I hate you. You should have used Skarmory when you had the chance. This is a threat. I'm sitting here on my bed and talking about Pokemon. Do you have anything to say? Okay. Brock's team is now Diglett because it's a mole, which is close enough to a badger, and Onyx because it still fits. He got the TM for Dig alongside the Badger badge because that's funny to me. Moving on to the water type Misty, we're already hitting a wall. Misty's name literally comes from the word Misty, and that's it. There's no etymology there. That's literally where the word comes from. The name just comes from the word. Alright, well, we can work with that, I guess. My first thought when I read that definition was that she could be an Ice-type trainer, because Mist is an Ice-type move. However, the Ice-type options in Kanto don't really align well with a second gym leader. They're either only Ice in their final fully evolved form, or are single stage that would be way too strong for a second gym. So, I decided against it. My second thought was Misty Train, which is a Fairy-type train option, so we could make her a Fairy-type gym leader. But the Fairy type didn't exist in Gen 1, so I'd prefer to give her a type that actually existed back then. My next thought was Psychic, because it's spooky and mysterious and mist and stuff. I mean, you can find Abra north of Cerulean, but I don't think that the Psychic type really fits well enough here. Misty's job, personality, appearance, they all really don't lend themselves to the Psychic type. That left me with one option that I actually kind of like, the Dragon type. I know what you're thinking. There's only one Dragon-type line in Kanto, and you'd be right. That's exactly why I want to get this out of the way early, so we don't have to pull a Lance and force 3 Dragonites on Koga or something. We can give her a Jatini as her ace, and to fill out the team a bit, well, this is doing one of the things that I hate most with a type specialist, Flint. But we're gonna have to give her something that doesn't align with her type. Horsey. Yeah, I know it isn't a Dragon-type Pokemon, but it is the Dragon Pokemon. So, also I'm out of options, cut me some slack. Give her the TM for Dragon Rage, and boom, you have a busted second gym leader. Also, she can still give out the Cascade badge, because I think that works. Lieutenant Surge doesn't have a canonical first name to my knowledge. He's just named after an electrical surge, befitting his electric type. However, me and my friend have a headcanon that his first name is actually Sergio, so that his full name is Lieutenant Sergio Surge. But that's not canon, and I'm too lazy to pull up the meaning for the name Sergio, so let's just use guideline number 2 and 3. Surge has a very buff, manly man demeanor. He's a militaristic man, and he's pretty much the stereotypical army lieutenant bossing people around. He was in an unspecified Pokemon War, and he's got quite an ego, too. I think all of these combine to make a pretty compelling case for the fighting type. He's prideful, buff, was in the military, and is a manly man's manly man. So the fighting type it is. But what would his ace be? The obvious choice is Machamp, but personally, I think that's kind of overdone. I'm kind of inclined to give him Primeape, not only because I like it a lot, and I think it deserves more love, but it also kind of resembles Surge with the spiky blonde hair and serious attitude. Throw on him a Choke and a Poliwrath, give him the Valor badge and the TM for submission, and we're good. Now we have Erica, who specializes in Grass-type Pokemon. Erica is the feminine form of Eric, meaning something along the lines of Ever Mighty Ruler. This obviously doesn't fit Erika's type now, and I don't think we should use it as the basis for a new type either. Especially because her name actually comes from the Erika genus of flower. Of course, with her name being tied to flowers, it's hard to tear away the grass type from her, because that's pretty much her entire identity, her job, her name, etc. I guess we could go with poison, because half of her team is poison already, and there are poisonous flowers in the Erika genus. It's not the best reason, but you come up with a better one.
No, she's not actually grass type because she just tends to flowers, so she should be a fairy type. Funny PokeTuber joke.
I don't know, man, she's a florist. What am I supposed to do here? Her team would be Nidorina, Victory Bell, and her ace would still be Vileplume. She'd go off the Aroma badge and the TM for Sludge. Next in the line is Koga. This is the official Kanto gym order. No, it doesn't make sense that you go from Fuchsia to Sapphire and Cinnabar. I don't make the rules here. I know they can be fought in any order. This is just how the badge chase looks. Just go comment somewhere else. He's a poison type specialist, and his name comes from a famous school of ninjutsu that I'm too lazy to Google the name of again. Nothing really pointing to the poison type in the first place, really. He's just kind of a ninja. So, I want to make him a psychic type trainer. Ninjas use illusions, trickery, and have intense mental fortitude. They train their bodies, mind, and spirit, and just, you get it. You wavy, hand wavy, stereotypical ninja magic stuff. You get it. I give him a Mr. Mime to reference the invisible wall in his gym, Executor, Hypno, and Starmie, because it looks like a ninja star, sorta, kinda. Same with making Surge's Ace Machamp. Alakazam is kind of overplayed in my opinion with the Psychic type specialist, so he gets the other less popular picks that isn't just Sabrina too. Speaking of Sabrina, oh, and Koga would give out the TM for Psybeam and the Illusion Badge or whatever. Sabrina is the Saffron City gym leader. She's a Psychic type specialist and also has no personality. Her entire thing is that, I am Psychic baby, I bent the spoon, so nothing to work off of there. The name Sabrina has a lot going on meaning-wise. It comes from a name that I'm gonna pronounce as Aubryn and accept that I'm wrong about it, which has many theorized meanings. It supposedly comes from the name of a river where a princess was drowned. The princess was also named Aubryn, and so there is debate as if the river was named after her or if she was named after the river, and I don't know. I'm not a smart person. Sabrina was also the name of a water nymph in John Milton's Mask, Comus, and I'm gonna pretend like I know what a mask is. Both of these are pretty compelling arguments for the water type, so that's what we'll be going with. Give her Seeking because it's underutilized and it needs more attention, a Tentacruel because it pulls you under the water and drowns you like the princess who was drowned in the river. Also give her Slowbro, and her ace can be Golduck, which is the most Psychic type Pokemon to not be a Psychic type. Blaine is a Fire type specialist and also the best Kanto gym leader. He's a scientist, game show host, potential creator of Mewtwo depending on the canon, gym leader, and full-time old man. The name Blaine means yellow, which is sort of the color of fire, but like, I guess, sort of. It was most likely chosen, however, because it sounds like blaze and flame put together. I think we can go off of the yellow name meaning, his wacky, eccentric personality, and his job as a scientist/game show host to make him an electric type specialist. I'd give him Magneton, Jolteon, Electabuzz, and his ace, Electrode. I initially wanted to give him Magneton as his ace because it felt more science-y, but Blaine is a weird guy, and Electrode's face fits his vibe pretty well. Also in the anime, Blaine went in disguise to trick Ash and Co. for reasons that I'm too lazy to Google, so that sort of fits Electrode's role as a mimic in the games. Finally, we have our last gym leader, the big man himself, CEO of Team Rocket and terrible dad, Giovanni. Giovanni is a ground type gym leader, and the only reason that he has his name is because it sounds like the suffix or prefix Geo, meaning Earth, and also because he's an Italian mafia mob boss dude. So like, Gen 1 names were amazing. The name itself means God is gracious, which is deeply unhelpful for this video. Giovanni is the Italian version of John, more or less, which is a very normal dude name. Giovanni's most iconic Pokemon is also Persian. I would propose making him a normal type gym leader. You may be thinking that would make him too easy, but no. The normal type options in Gen 1 were ferocious. Kangaskhan, Snorlax, Dodrio, Tauros, and Persian are all super strong normal types that I would love to see him use. Also, a lot of these Pokemon are native to the Safari Zone, so I feel like Giovanni flexing on you with having all these rare protected species he has fits his mob boss aesthetic to a T. He can give out the Ivory Badge and the TM for Hyper Beam. So there you have it. Every Kanto gym leader has been assigned a brand new type. If you forgot a few, they are Brocc has Ground, Misty has Dragon, Surge has Fighting, Erika has Poison, Koga has Psychic, Sabrina has Water, Blaine has Electric, and Giovanni has Normal. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please... Just kidding, we're doing the Elite Four members too. I tricked you. You've been had, idiot. Lorelei is the first member of the Kanto Elite Four. She specializes in Ice-type Pokemon, and her strict demeanor is a testament to that. Her name literally means rock, however. Like, all of them. Rhydon, Aerodactyl, Golem, Kabutops, and Omastar. Moving on, we have Bruno, the fighting-type specialist. His name means armor, protection, and brown. You wanna know what else is brown and protected? Pinsir! His team would be Venomoth, Parasect, Beedrill, Scyther, and Pinsir. Sorry guys, I'm kind of running out of types here, so these reasonings are going to be a bit less good. Agatha is next, and she is a ghost specialist. Her name means good, which could possibly be juxtaposition because she's a bitter woman who likes ghosts. It's more likely, however, that it was just chosen because it sounds like agony, aghast, and a ghost. This isn't leaving me with much to work with them, to be honest. I tried looking into her lore and life outside of the Elite Four, but literally all she has is that she used to be Oak's rival, and that's it. No exaggeration. That's it. So I ended up settling with the Ice type. She's a very cold, bitter person, so it fits enough, I guess. I'd give her Dugong, Lapras, 2 Jinx, and a Cloyster. My 2 choices for her ace were Cloyster and Jinx, because Jinx references her supernatural side, and Cloyster because she has the same face as Cloyster, and they're both, they've both been hardened by time and have very thick outer shells, and, yep. And also, Cloyster doesn't get enough love. But I ended up choosing Cloyster just because I felt like it fit the most in this situation, and that's why she has 2 Jinxes, because I also... there's only 4 ice types outside of Articuno in the Kanto region. And I also wanted to just give Jinx like an honorable mention. This one's one of the worst ones. And finally we have Lance, the world's worst dragon tamer. His name either means land or it comes from lances, as in the weapons that Knight used to slay dragons and stuff. None of these meanings fit with the remaining types, except for grass for land, maybe? But grass is literally the farthest from Lance's vibe as humanly possible, so no. I could try and dig up some hidden lore behind the meaning of Lance's name or him as a person, but making fun of him is way better, so Lance the Bird Keeper lives on! I give him Fearow, Aerodactyl, Pidgeot, Charizard, and his new ace, Gyarados. I don't like giving him a starter, but it's a staple of his team, and it's better than Farfetch'd or Butterfree, so... So, what do you guys think? Is there something that I missed that could have given a better specialty to trainers like Erica and Bruno? Do you like some of these new ones more than the old ones? I know I personally like Lance leaning into his Flying-type Destiny, and I honestly quite like Electric-type, Blaine. I forgot his name for a second there. Anyway, leave your comments below, and I will consider reading them, but I probably won't because rejection scares me. Bye!